Hiya, I'm Jasper, and welcome to your video review for Top Gun. It's a movie starring Tom Cruise, Val Kilmer, Anthony Edwards from ER, and some chick who apparently is not Nicole Kidman. For years, I thought that she was in Days of Thunder, and this apparently just Days of Thunder. Alrighty, so as always, I'm going to give it the good, the bad, and the furry. To start off with the furry, maybe a dog. I don't remember. No furry. Moving on. So, this movie came out in 1986. I guess air conditioning was not invented until 1987 because everyone is always wet in this movie. Like, every single scene, people are sweaty or glistening or just came out the shower wet. Like, they all just sweaty. And a lot of those scenes are set inside where I figured that they would have air conditioning, but I guess not. Okay, sorry. So this is a movie where Tom Cruise and Anthony Edwards are Maverick and Goose, and they are pilot and weapon system operator of the F-14. Side note, I think it's real funny how relatively soon after this movie came out that the Navy retired the F-14. So I don't know what they're going to be flying in the movie coming out. Maybe F-18s, and maybe they'll retire those soon after for the F-35. I don't know, but it's just kind of funny to me. Anyway, okay. So they're fighter pilots, and they're already doing fighter pilot things, and then they get picked to go to this even better fighter pilot school called Top Gun. And then they train and become Top Gun type people, or train to try to become Top Gun type people. I don't want to spoil anything for you from a movie that came out in 1986. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch it. Especially if you're going to try and watch the second one. I feel like there's going to be some references to the first one and the second one, so maybe you should go watch the first one. Okay? Okay. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I'm going to give it a thumbs up, but I also like fighter jets, and I like that because this was made in 1986, they had to actually film actual fighter jets doing fighter jet shit. That was cool. I could tell that was actual fighter jets doing actual fighter jet things, and that it was before CGI, so they had to work with what the aircraft could take video of the other aircraft. And I thought that was fun. I thought that they did it really well. I was entertained throughout. I was engaged. There was some tense action, and I was like, ooh, what's going to happen? And like, it's been years since I've watched this movie, and I just remember this one maneuver that he did, and I was waiting for it. And then he finally did. I was like, haha, I remember that maneuver. And it wasn't quite as cool as like my brain from many years ago remembers it being. It was still cool, but like it was unbelievably cool to my brain until I saw it again. I'm like, oh, it's still cool, but like it can never be as cool as my rose-colored memory is making it seem as cool. But it was still fun. It also had the dude from Starship Troopers, I think. You know, the like trainer guy in there. I think he was also one of the trainer pilots, and then some other guy with a mustache who, I don't know, kind of reminded me of Viggo Mortensen from G.I. Jane. He was not Viggo Mortensen, but he kind of had that feel to it. So maybe that guy was just like that style of military person in this era. I don't know. But it was a fun time. There was also a lot of volleyball. And let me tell you, you would think that dudes playing volleyball would not be really, really masculine and not at all homoerotic, but they somehow pulled it off. It's like that scene in Rocky, I don't know, 3, 4, 17, whatever, when Rocky and Apollo Creed are like running on the beach, and Apollo Creed is literally wearing like a cut-off bralette style thing, and then they like run on the beach, and they're all sweaty together, and they jump up and they hug and everything else. Like, that didn't seem homoerotic at all last time I watched it. But like describing it, you're like, I mean, it sounds kind of gay. But same thing with this one. Like they managed to make it seem just real masculine, in a not homo way, which was kind of fun to be able to achieve that. But yeah, there was definitely a lot of scenes shot in like locker rooms and on the beach and shirtless and whatnot, and so if you're in the Navy, you'll probably really like that. You know what I'm saying? Jokes, you get it. But yeah, I had a fun time with this movie, and I liked the action that they had. And I like that even like the bad guy, so to speak, in this, it wasn't. I like when the bad guy isn't a bad guy, just different philosophy sometimes. Like, not every time, like, not every movie does that work for. Don't get me wrong, like, that's not what every movie should do. But it is fun when they do it well. And they did that well in this movie. And yes, a lot of the fighter pilot maneuvers things where they focus on the actor's face, they're clearly like, here's the edge of the cockpit and you can't really see what's going on behind them until you go to the exterior thing. Makes sense because, again, of how they had to shoot things. But it wasn't a detriment to the overall enjoyment of the movie because I wasn't like looking for be like, well, where's the mid shot where you can see his face and the outside of the plane at the same time. Like, I didn't miss that. I don't remember them actually getting up into a plane and getting out of a plane, a la like Star Wars Episode 4, 5, or 6 style. I don't remember that happening or not happening. But if it didn't happen and I didn't remember it, I feel like that's not a detriment. That's just a way to shoot the show or shoot the movie in a way that is entertaining, but doesn't have to show you each individual thing that is happening. But yeah, I think this is just a great time. Thumbs up. You should give it a watch, especially if you're going to watch the second one, which I'm sure will have a shit ton of CGI, but hopefully they'll have some actual real-world planes flying around too. And hopefully just like a good mix style, like, I don't know, Oblivion. I know Oblivion didn't have actual planes flying, but you get what I'm saying, mixture of real and CG. Anyway, so yeah, it's a great time. I don't really have much more to say about it. Oh, I did want to mention the music. So I remember I had this soundtrack from way back in the day, and I absolutely loved it. And like one of the songs that I really liked, I thought was like the song, but now, having gone back and watched the movie again, I'm like, oh, that wasn't even like the song that they played at multiple points and multiple times and everything else. Like, there was multiple songs that were played multiple times, or at least parts of them were played multiple times. And basically, what I'm telling you is that I really, really understand now why Archer was always referencing the Top Gun soundtrack in the show. Because it's just that good, and it works at every moment in time. It's fantastic. It's so good, and it really adds to the movie. The plot line is fine. All right. That's all I have for this one. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye.